Welcome to our mini-sode series, TMDSAS Corner, where we talk to TMDSAS staff about the application, how to get your application transmitted to the schools as quickly as possible, and how to make your application stand out in the best way. Welcome back to the TMDSAS podcast. Today we're in a TMDSAS Corner episode. We're joined by Ann and Cherry today. Thank you very much for joining us again.
Hi. Hello.
So I've been overhearing quite a few phone calls that have been coming in, and from our status meetings, we've heard several emails about students being very anxious about the materials that are arriving in the office. But can you tell us what other questions are coming into the TMDSAS inbox?
Absolutely. I'm Ann, and I'm the first point of contact. So when people call in, one of the most frequent calls is anxious applicants wanting to know if their documents have been received. And one of the most important things to know is that not having a transcript or a letter or test scores in no way hinders our ability to process and transmit your application. So there's really no need to be anxious if you don't see a transcript marked as received. It's probably in transit, it's probably in our office. It just takes us time to get it uploaded and marked as received. So if we could just encourage people to understand that there are resources that they can use to check their status, and we're working as fast as we can. So that's one of the things that we get many calls about.
And on the check status page, we've actually got a video where students can actually go step by step in figuring out which application materials have been received by our office, and you can actually get a glimpse into how long it takes for a piece of mail to go through the entire process here at TMDSAS, from the point we receive it to the point where it's uploaded and visible to the schools.
That's right. And one more thing, you can submit your application even if we don't have your letters or transcripts. So that's really important. There's no need to wait. When you're ready to submit your application, just review it, edit it, make sure you're happy with it, and then you could submit, because we do update on a daily basis.
Yes, it's really easy to check your status, so you can get the most out of, using the resources we have, like our website, and right on the front page, on your home page, we also give information and announcements. But to check your status, all you simply need to do is log into your application. On the right-hand side, there's a menu. All you need to do is select Application Status page. You want to follow that link. That link gives you status to everything that you've completed on your application. It gives you every date that you've completed and last saved a section of your status for your application. Also, if you scroll down the page, it will give you dates of receipt for your supporting documentations, such as your letters of evaluations, the date of receipt of transcripts, and also further down, the date your test scores were received. So make sure to keep checking back on that. You can also keep checking our website. We do give dates that we're working on processing your applications, as well as transcript dates that we're processing.
One of the other calls we're receiving a lot are about MCAT test scores, and sometimes the scores don't match. And if you don't see a receive date next to your MCAT score, that means that there is one of four things that we need to check on our end. And one is a name mismatch or a date of birth mismatch. The test dates need to match, or else the scores won't line up together. And also the AAMC number must be correct. So we do need to check all the criteria. If you don't see the date next to the MCAT received, that means one of those things is incorrect. So we do need to resolve that, and we need you to participate and either email us or call us about that.
And about how many mismatch issues are we seeing right now?
I would say maybe 20 a week. And every time you release a score, it does take at least 36 hours for the reports to run and the matches to make. And oftentimes there are mismatches, whether someone hasn't filled out that section yet, and or one of these four criteria aren't met.
And also, be sure to check that information before you call us or send us information, because we found many a times, even though we're looking up the information and we can check it, you still need to make sure your information is correctly put in. Otherwise, it doesn't match. And also remember, don't count the 36 to 48 hours during the weekends.
That's right. And one of the things, because Cherry and I answer the phone most of all, please identify yourself and have your TMDSAS ID ready if you do call. If you email, identify yourself fully with your full name and your TMDSAS ID number. That's really helpful for us.
All right. Well, before we let you go, is there any other advice we'd like to offer our applicants at this point in the cycle?
Please be patient. Realize that we are a small office. We do try to get documentation, receipt, and processing times done within 3 weeks. But again, be patient. Make sure to check your status page on a regular basis. Make sure to check the website for the dates that we're processing and working on. And just make sure you understand how the process of a transcript being requested is not the same as a transcript being received at the office.
Correct. And there's really no need to be anxious. Just breathe deep. We'll get work done and just work on your application to the best of your ability.
And also just remember, as we said earlier in this topic, you can submit your application without receipt of your test scores, transcript, or letters of evaluation.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming back and offering some advice for our applicants. I'm sure it's very, very much needed for a lot of these students right now that we're going through the application, and this is probably the height of the application season. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Make sure you subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, or wherever you listen to podcasts to stay up to date with us. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/TMDSAS and at Twitter at TMDSAS and at TMDSAS Support. On behalf of TMDSAS, we want to wish all our applicants for the 2018 cycle all the best of luck. Thank you very much for listening. We'll talk to you later.